The Radium Podcast, episode 81. We're back for more. You came here because you're about the music industry, music business. You want to learn about production, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. But today we're going to be talking about your ads and running your ads. Yes, your Facebook, Instagram ads, your social media ads. Four really main reasons, and then we're going to talk about some mistakes that people are making as well.
Bonus round.
Things to really look out for. But let's jump right into this and smash that like button, make a comment, drop a comment. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel.
Notification bell.
That's right. So number one biggest thing is that ads are the cheapest they've ever been in the history of man to run. They are targeted, they are cheap as hell, and you can get in for, $1 a day. And that right there means you should be spending $3 to $10 a day. Like, instead of getting a coffee or going out and grabbing a drink every day, why not just put that into your ads and run your single and push it out in front of a bunch of people? Ad spend is insane with corporations, but right now we're still at a point where Facebook, Instagram ads, and even I would say Google AdWords is fairly reasonably priced if you're an artist, independent artist that wants to get out in front of people. Now, of course, we're going to get into some things and why people think ads are so expensive or why they're going up. But for now, they are very cheap, and they're not going to get any cheaper is the best way to put this. So they are the cheapest they've ever been.
If you compare it to the 90s, the 2000s, when TV was the biggest form of getting in front of people.
Or pre-roll at the movie theater.
Yeah, pre-roll at the movies. Yeah. Or, hey, you want to get on some print.
Yeah,
you want to get in magazines, because magazines were
still
a lot more popular.
They're still
in the
expensive,
90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're comparing it to.
Billboards?
Yeah.
Billboards are not cheap, man.
Not here, at least.
Not in LA.
Maybe in the middle of the country. I don't know.
Where no one sees them. Right? What's the point? So they are very cheap right now, and that's the number one reason to get into it. If you got a little additional money to market your music, market your brand, your producing, your production, your course you're selling, whatever, then for God's sakes, put some money into your ads.
Yeah, get some better results. Stop buying billboards.
Absolutely. And number two, it's going to be figuring out your audience. The best thing that ever happened, maybe the best and the worst thing that ever happened, was Facebook really becoming the internet. They have half the world on the platform. I've mentioned this many times over all these podcasts, but
it's really Google and Facebook. They got the whole internet as a whole.
Facts. That is
YouTube
the internet.
And Google and
straight
Instagram
up.
And Facebook.
So what does that mean? That means data collection, but that means data collection on a massive scale.
Big data.
Unbelievable scale. They know you can really get into data collection on all of your audience and figuring out who likes your music, down to what they like to eat, what kind of magazines they read, what do they visit on the internet. Then you can really understand what is my audience like.
You retarget them over and over again with the same or different ads and see what connects to them and what doesn't, and
Facts.
Build ad sets, and Brad can tell you all about it. So.
And I think the biggest, most important thing about that, figuring out your audience with ads, is that you can do an ad spend of $50 a month, let's say, and you can figure out your audience over the year and hone in on who you're talking to, who really likes your music, who's really messing with you, and then you can hone in on your content, making shareable content, making stuff that we talked about in the last podcast. If you haven't watched episode 80, go back and watch it. It's about your branding and building that up. But you can really figure out what your brand is, because you're people in Florida, in Miami, really mess with my music. They typically like this, this, and this, and they have this kind of income level, and they show up to my shows and they buy tickets and they buy merch, and those are the people that I should start making more stuff for, more merch, more whatever it is, more music towards, right? You understand your audience, you understand how to serve them, and that's really important.
Well, to tie it back to even the podcast before that, which was about doing live shows, it's really important to use this data to when you go on tour and stuff like that and you start booking.
Facts. Where do you go?
You're understanding the
book?
size of your audience and which places, how much feedback you're getting, because you can literally go and play shows in those and then advertise to those people in those areas and sell those venues, and that's how you would scale a business. So
Yeah, it's massively important. And that, honestly, number 3 is data collection, and we're kind of getting right into that anyway. But the data collection that these companies have right now, they've obviously been taken to court for it, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's so sophisticated. It's to the point where what Kevin's talking about is retargeting and figuring out like who your audience is and then retargeting them, but also building lookalike audiences that look exactly like them. Now, what does that mean? That means we take all these different data points, you know, how much time they spend on the internet. Are they typically clicking on these links?
Maybe
80%.
They shop at Hot Topic.
They shop at Hot Topic and they like, you know, Indian food. You know, where do they live? Within how many miles of what radius do they live? You can target those people.
They watch complex news.
Exactly.
And, they are, you know, big fans of freaking Vans clothing.
And here's the powerful thing about the data collection is that you can actually stack things, right? So you can say, are interested in rappers, but then you can stack it and say, you must also be in Detroit, Michigan, where you're going to play your show, right? Interested in rappers in Detroit, Michigan. And then you can even go further and say, like, interested in these artists that are in hip hop that sound a lot like you, right?
Lil Baby.
Yep. And then you can, Lil Baby. And then you can go, okay, and then I want to market to my audience is typically 16 to about 28. Okay, great. Now you can say age range, 16 to 28, Detroit, Michigan, like these rap artists, Wu-Tang, Mos Def, and blah, blah, blah. Like you can scale that all out and get very targeted on it and then push ads to your market that says, you know, you got an ad copy and a little live show of you performing and you say, yo, Detroit, Michigan, Lil Booby, the new school Wu-Tang meets Mos Def is coming to your town in Detroit, Michigan. Get your tickets now. We'll be there on Friday. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be this kind of food that you also targeted that's going to be served there and alcohol, all ages, whatever, right? There you go. You just targeted directly the messaging works with the audience and you have all this data. Thank you, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. I know a lot of you guys are like, yo, screw that guy. But like, dude, he's giving you the ability to go like spend $5 a day on ads and reach thousands of people. Mm-hmm. It's insane. So use it. Data collection, huge. And brings us right into number 4.
Which is infinite scalability, which means there no cap. No cap, Brad.
There ain't no cap on this game. Ain't nobody capping you. Like Facebook's not gonna, or like, look, Google AdWords isn't gonna say, dude, no, we don't want that kind of money, man. We need to put a cap on you, bro. You want to spend $1 million a day? Nah, you can't do that. No, we don't want that. Whatever you tell these platforms to spend, they're going to spend on marketing. Mm-hmm. So if you need to do because most of this is going to be like a bidding system. It's literally an auction. It's like saying, well, this guy is going to pay this much to then get in front of this audience. How much are you going to pay? Well, I'll pay this much depending on where it's being put.
Yeah, and I mean, just if you're comparing it back to the 90s, you back in the day, you only had, say, there was like a one major show at 6 p.m. on Fox or whatever like that. Yeah. That's the most airtime there was. Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Now, in the digital age, YouTube, there's 1 million shows on 1 million channels, and there's close to infinite amount of places you can put ads. So,
Facts. Yeah. And you can see the results.
And the ads are different depending on who's watching.
Facts. You don't get to see that on TV. You don't get to see like how long did they pay attention to the video? Did they watch 25% or more? Can I retarget those people? No, you can't. TV does not have those analytics. TV has like how long was the show left on the TV screen. You don't know if it was muted, someone went to the kitchen. Don't know if someone was even paying attention at all to the commercials or if they were just, blanking them out. And on their phone, they were doing this while the commercials are hitting. Yeah. Gary Vee and all these people, they talk about this stuff. It's crazy. Social media marketing is digital marketing. It's the new wave. It's infinite scalability. It's the cheapest it's ever been. It's you can figure out your audience. You can data collect. You can tweak. You can infinitely scale it. It's just an amazing thing right now. And if you're not taking advantage of this, you're crazy. Like, just put a budget together. Oh, well, I can't afford it. I hear that all the time. I can't afford running ads. You can't afford $3 a day? Makes no sense. You can afford it. Everybody can afford it. I
think the solution too is to try to make it afford itself, right?
Facts, yeah. So and that's like really what we got to get into with things to look out for. And the last thing we're really going to talk about with the why ads are so important. Big thing to look out for. If you have no conversion, you will be running ads for no reason.
For free.
Right. For some people, it's like, yo, I want to get my brand out there and get brand recognition. But most people, and this is a huge mistake, are running ads by boosting a post that is absolute garbage. I'm sorry. Like, you in your room rapping with your friends is not an ad. You don't need to boost that.
You suck. Just kidding.
It's just like, no, it's just straight up. It's just not an ad. Like, you have to think about what you're doing. I know it's hard to think about things sometimes.
Why do you think people get paid to spend millions of dollars creating ads?
Facts. And media marketing agencies, they're all over now because
thinking about copy and
we need them because you have to be in there tweaking all the time. It's a full-time job. But big thing to look out for. Do not boost your posts. Always run ads through the Facebook Manager. You're going to get better results. You get better targeting. I did an ads course. If you click below, you can pick it up. It's super affordable. It's going to cost you, what you spend on a coffee a day during this month. Like, it's going to be no money to you because once you learn this stuff and you set it up right, you're going to save hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars off all these stupid mistakes people make with their ads.
It's the booster pack, man. Do you want to...
Unbelievable. Like, it's, I make this stuff after spending 5 years really dialing in on this stuff through music, right? Because there's not a lot of ads courses out there that are like, yo, how do you run ads as a musician, as an artist, as a producer? We've been running ads under Radium for the last 3 years, right? 3.5 years. It's like, I had to figure those things out. Like, how does this work for e-commerce against music, right? So super important stuff. Pick it up. It's cheap. It's worth it. It's going to pay for itself. But big things to look out for. Don't just boost a post. Run it through the Facebook Ads Manager. Facebook ads are absolutely the most affordable out of all the ad platforms against Google, YouTube pre-rolls, all that shit. Don't listen to anyone that tells you otherwise. It's stupid unless they're drop shipping bars of soap and they've been making millions. Cool. All right. Go get their course. But we're talking about the music industry. We're not talking about bars of soap and, toilet bowl disinfectant.
I mean, if it's part of your brand, you might be a rapper with a sick toilet bowl. Might be some
you got that gold
soap.
Toilet bowl.
Maybe your logo on some soap. I don't know. And if it works, it works. I'm not judging, but
fair. But big things to look out for there is just run it on Facebook. You're gonna get your most money's worth. You're gonna collect the data. You're gonna be able to see everything, and you'll be able to hone in on your audience. You'll be able to play shows, announce shows, etc. Facebook, like I talked about in like 2 episodes back, I talked about how Facebook is so big for music artists. It reminds people when you have a show. It tells people who's going to the show. The invites get sent out. It's very engaging. It's part of like your community, your audience. Another thing to look out for is like, if you spend $1 on an ad, what are you looking for in return? You need to know what that means. Like, what is the ROI on this? What are you looking for? Are you just looking for someone to see this ad? Because that's stupid. You should think about how things convert. What do you want for a conversion?
You kind of need to have a business before you run an ad, right?
Sure.
So that you're not just pouring money.
100%. If you don't have a business setup, a business structure of like, okay, I got a place where people can check out, where they can buy tickets to my show, where they can buy a t-shirt off Shopify. If you don't have that business set up your business before running any ads. Don't be dumb. You don't need brand recognition. You don't need to be boosting Instagram posts when you have no conversion. You're like, well, I want to get my streams up. Streams pay 0.4 cents per stream. It's like, don't worry about that right now. You're not there. Unless you are there, then I'm not talking to you. Grab the ads course and get to work, right?
Why don't you drop some gems from the ads course, Brad? Why don't you give us 5 things that you must do to be successful with ads?
Okay, so 5 things. I mean, this is...
Name it. Drop them.
There's just so
Give them the gems,
so
dude.
Things.
Yeah,
so things.
Okay, far off. It might be more than 5.
Right,
Go.
so the first module is just setting up your straight up getting your ads account together. Like, do you guys have that together? That's the most important thing. You can't run an ad without the ads business manager. You have your card attached to it. You have your Facebook page going across to your Instagram page. That's a huge thing. That's number one. You need to get all of that connected and flowing so it all works together, right? And that's all your branding, your logos, and everything's across the board looking good. And all your ads are connected together so you can run ads across Facebook, Instagram stories, and here's your other gem. You can actually run ads on Instagram Explore page. Massive, right? Everybody's trying to get to the Explore page, man. If you just go like and comment, man, and I'm going to go spam people up. Why not run $1 a day on ads and get to the Explore page while you're marketing on the Explore page to people that actually want to see what you're putting out there? Because you got an engagement group with a bunch of foodies, but you're a rapper. It makes no sense whatsoever. You're not going to get there. Instagram is very niche right now. It's into niche marketing. If you have your niche, let's say Kevin is a...
yodeler.
He's big in the music industry, and he's got 100 million, followers. And
biggest yodeler in the music.
He's massive. If he goes and he likes my music industry post... and I have 12,000 followers and a little engagement, and he goes and likes it, that's called a power like. If he goes comments on it and shares it, Instagram pushes that with the algorithm. So that's why it's super important. Run ads, get on the explore page, get in front of people that could see your stuff, make sure your content's awesome first, of course. But that's massive part about ads. Another thing about ads like that I run through in this course is how to target, who to look for, how to, what you're going to end up doing with that audience and how you're going to build a lookalike audience, how you're going to retarget them, all that stuff. It's all this stuff that's like mysterious to people, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's demystify it a little bit, like just kind of the conceptuality of it, which is like you're targeting wide and you're trying to kind of sift it down to get the right people who are clicking through, purchasing,
right.
You know what I mean? And from there, you're going to take that, retarget that, and keep funneling.
Make an audience that looks just like those people that bought your stuff. It's very powerful.
Do this infinite amount of times, right?
Infinite scalability, as we talked about. Number 4, infinite scalability. So let's go back over this real quick because I really think this is the most important thing in 2020 and beyond is spending money on ads. Their organic reach on Instagram is completely dead. It just is dead.
Go to TikTok.
The only way it works is if you have people that are constantly engaging with you and you're engaging with them, and then your stuff gets pushed to them. That's it. So maybe 20 people, right? After that, you have no organic, like Instagram's not going to just go push your stuff into someone new's face. It just doesn't work like that anymore. Same thing with Facebook. It's very basic. If you want to know about this stuff, just go play around with the sources. TikTok's the only one with organic reach right now because they want more people on the platform getting addicted and hooked on the fact that they got thousands of views to push more content into the platform because there's not enough content creators on there. Soon that will be a different story. They will flip to throttling organic reach and everyone will start having to pay. It's how every social media platform has ever done it. It's the business model. Okay, so
there's plenty of ads on TikTok too.
Plenty of ads on TikTok, and it's happening. It's happening more and more.
Ads.
It's just going to keep happening. So cheapest they've ever been. Figuring out your audience, so powerful. Data collection, infinite scalability, and you know what to look out for now. So do what you got to do. Get your ads running. Stop playing around. Stop buying a beer for $9 down the street in LA and put that $9 or put half of it. Go to happy
your damn
hour.
business.
Go build your fucking business.
Don't stop expecting your posting on Instagram to your homies to blow you up.
Yeah.
In the music industry.
You know what my favorite is? Dude, no one supports me. My friends and family don't support me, and they don't repost. And why don't you guys do anything for me? You're not showing support for me. You don't show support for yourself. Go run ads. Go do the things you have to do and that you can do, and then you can complain about how no one supports you.
Yeah, do things that a business would do.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To make money.
Yeah, business
stop expecting money just to show up at your door.
You imagine like you open up a bakery and you're like, my parents don't come in and buy cookies every day.
Nobody just walks in.
Don't support me. My friends didn't buy any cookies. So anyway, this is not about any of that. It's about getting your business going. It's about getting your music industry and business going. If this is helpful in any sense, go smash the like button, leave a comment, show some love, share this with a friend, subscribe to the channel. Just do whatever you got to do to help us make more of this stuff for you guys for free. And if you want to get more in detail, if you really, really want to do this stuff, if you're truly in the business for the long term, you're not having a year, you're not having a 6-month thing where you want to drop records, you're truly trying to scale a music business, pick up the course. It's $97. I know, you're like, I don't pay that much for a beat. Yeah, exactly. The beat's not monetizing. This will. So go pick up the course. Grab it, get your stuff set up, and start running ads right now, today, right after this podcast, or even while you're watching this podcast, get them set up. Thanks for tuning in. 81